All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's been a while. Well, I mean, I guess last week, whatever. Anyways, for anybody watching this afterwards, this is a live event, so I'll be talking and interacting with people. Let's check it out. Let's see. Wait for somebody to roll in here. Budget and Legend. What's up, Leon? First, boom! Hey, Jonathan, Daniel. How goes it, guys? So, got quite a bit going on. I'm going to try to make quick work of this live stream. Just kind of an update of what's going on with everybody. Hey, Jeremiah. Hey, James. Matt. All right. Voltage drop. Tommy. What's up, Tommy? Miss you, buddy. Didn't get to see you in New York. Mario says, question about Chevy environment identifiers. How do you tell which one is not sending the right identifier? Hey, Steve. Hey, David. Tommy. Boom. That's right, Leon. Just like that. You're a wrench. A wrench. Chevy environment identifiers. That's an interesting question, Mario. Maybe I'm not familiar with the terminology. Hey, Randy. Well, anyway, so as the title says, what's after the J2534 class? Because you guys know I've been ranting and raving about that, and normally up here in this corner of the video, there's a little tile that's hey, Eric. No, we're just talking about what we're doing after my J2535 class. Like over on Patreon, where you see that thing now, I had a little tile where we were doing the J2534 class. That's finished up. We've done all of that class. It took like 13 or 14 weeks to complete. Took an 8-hour class and ran it out over, answering all the questions and all that stuff. That's where I'm at, Tommy. I had the same question. But anyways, so I'm being asked now, well, what are you doing now? Well, we've already gone on to another class. We do a class every single week. We started the diagnostic process last week, and we're on part 2 of that now, and we're just talking about what do you do? What kind of process do you have to do diagnosis? Is it, and how much is it better? We all kind of have. I have a really structured one. Some people don't have as a structured process, but they still go through the same steps every time, and that's what makes you pretty successful as a diagnostician, is following steps and not skipping that stuff. Making sure you read your TSBs, that kind of stuff. Looking at wiring diagrams, building it. Mario says, I kept getting this code won several modules, and it kept truck from starting. Key was programmed. I had communication with everything. Yeah, Eric. My patrons got. So what I did was I put out this J2534 class that I'll be teaching at Super Saturday on October 12th. If somebody will put a link for Super Saturday in the thing, I think the registration is open. I'm not sure yet, but. Yeah, I'm teaching a J2534 8-hour class at Super Saturday in Pennsylvania in October 12th. But that class, I taught it on Patreon just kind of through the live platform there, where I'm able to do, every week we did sit down and did about an hour, sometimes 2 hours of the class. A lot of interaction. So since I'm not constrained by time on Patreon like I would be, like we have to do a class, we're going to do a break at this time, and then we got... lunch at this time, and then another break, and then the end of the class. Since I'm not constrained to that, I'm able to stop, elaborate farther on each topic, so it basically takes that class and goes way farther. So guys are paying, I think it's $25 a month is the lowest access fee for the training that's on there. And that, I know it seems steep or whatever, but you're getting an hour plus of training every single week, plus different ways to go back and forth with me. But you don't need a diagnostic process, you just need a flow charts to get to the end of them, change the ECM, right? Correct, Eric. So I can tell you that I've never used a flow chart for diagnosis to follow the flow chart, but I have read flow charts to find specifications for certain components. A lot of times the flowchart will give you an idea of what that component is looking for, whether it be a voltage or, I mean, it'll give you some resistance checks too, but we try to steer away from doing a resistance check unless it's something very specific, like a CAN bus system or something. We try to, rather than using resistance, we want to look at current, we want to look at the work being done. We go through that kind of stuff, but you know, with the diagnostic process, you may want to use the flowchart and read it just to find specifications of the system, or if the description operation is unclear of how a system works, you can sometimes get information on what that component's looking to see from what signal or whatever. Yes, thank you, Eric. That is the correct website. This is really weird having you, Eric, do things on my channel versus me trying to, you know, sift through your 2,000 people that are commenting at 500 miles an hour. Technology, man. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing over there. So we finished the J class, but every week, starting last week, I started reposting the J class. So every Monday, a new piece that will come out. So if you like recently joined the Patreon platform and you can't, you know, obviously you can't see months behind because you're paying for whole months of access, you know, for each, like if you purchased the $25 package on the 31st of a month, you get to see everything that was posted that whole month forever, as long as you stay a patron, you know. So for the guys that just recently loaded on, I'm reposting the recorded parts of that video. So if you jump on the Patreon now, you can see the J2534 class in its entirety as long as you stick with it. But you're going to see, you know, it's going to take you 13 weeks or whatever to finish the class. But as we finish up with that, I'll introduce, like we're doing the diagnostic process now, then I'm probably going to get into some foundational electrical class. When I say foundational, I don't mean basic. I feel like all electrical can be an advanced electrical class. I can't wait for Super Saturday either. I'm excited. I've already got tickets and hotel and all that stuff. I'm ready to go. The second week of bow season, right? I agree with you, Eric. Well, it is super dark in here. There we go. That might be too much. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Not deer hunters, right? It's like there's always so much training around the April, May area. And the good part is my business being mobile, I find that I'm actually pretty slow around those times, right, as we start to ramp up. And right now I'm getting really busy, and that's probably going to stay that way all the way through about October. So, I mean, I get why they're doing that. Excuse me. But yeah, so it was on Patreon. That's what I was doing. So right now it's like every Monday a new piece of the J-Box class comes out, as well as every Sunday. Like as soon as I get off here, I jump on the Patreon platform and we do training. So we're going to be doing part 2 of the diagnostic approach or diagnostic process. Any training in South Central Canada? David, I do not keep up with training in Canada. I keep up with U.S. training. South Central Canada. No, you know what? That's something I'm going to bring up to the rest of Trained by Tech guys. If you look on trainedbytechs.com, somebody put a link to that. I will. I can type that. I didn't remember what the one for Super Saturday was because it wasn't like supersaturday.com. Trainedbytechs.com. So they're on the website, trainedbytechs.com. I'm a member of Trained by Techs. We're a group of technicians that do training. We posted a video today, by the way. Bren made a sweet case study on a Chrysler. But if you check out the website, we post a lot of them there. There should be a training link for local and stuff that's mostly U.S. based. So I'm going to mention it, and hopefully Tommy's paying attention so he can say something too and let the guys know to start looking at Canada-based training. Alex, if Alex is in here anywhere, he is in Canada. I think he's over by Quebec, so more of like a French province area. But he may have a good lead on local training, but from what I've heard, there's just not a lot. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, so that's what we're doing over on Patreon. We just finished the J2534 class up. That's reposting right now, so every week there'll be a new piece that comes out. So if somebody recently joined, they can still get the J-Box class. And then doing live, we're doing the diagnostic process class. Then we're going to be doing probably some foundational electrical, or we'll be doing PCM fueling strategy stuff, learning how the PCM's looking at all these inputs to determine stuff. That gives you a really good, for me, that was the most beneficial thing of doing like drivability or misfire diagnosis, is understanding what the PCM is using, what inputs for, and what it's doing inside, and how it's controlling outputs based on those. It gives you a lot of information on that. But like I was saying, when I say I do foundational electrical, I don't mean basic, because no electrical stuff is all basic. It's all just foundations. Once you understand how electricity works on the basic level, you can apply it in some advanced or unconventional or quick thought processes. But for the most part, it's all basic. So that's why I don't like saying something is basic, because people go, oh, I already know electrical, I don't need that. I'm like, dude, I'll take a basic electrical class any day, because that means they're going to go back to the foundational stuff, and we're going to talk about. I am not an Ohm's law fan. Like, it's important. You need to understand that came out wrong. Okay, you have to use Ohm's law, and we use it every day. But you don't need to know the formulas specifically. The way I teach electrical diagnosis is understanding the correlation between resistance and current and how voltage can affect that. And that's how my thought process always works when chasing these electrical problems, when looking at this stuff, is understanding the relationship and the correlation between how if current decreases, then resistance increases, as long as the voltage stays the same, and how voltage affects that correlation. So that's what I talk about when I talk about Ohm's law, because I don't spend a lot of time on the formulas. I post a picture of the formulas, go, here they are, and you can print them off, because I don't know them off the top of my head, because I don't need to. And if I have to do a calculation, then I'll look it up. And I know this is what's really bad, is Diagnosed Dan posted a video a week or something ago called Using Ohm's Law to Fix a Car, and I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. It's on my list of videos to watch. I don't have a whole lot of time. And he probably proves all of what I just said wrong in some way. But, I mean, for the most part, understanding the formula is not that important. It's understanding what it's used for and how we apply it in the automotive realm and how we apply it to circuits, and that kind of stuff is what's important to me, because that's what fixes cars for me every day. But anyways, that's my blab on that. That's what my little thing, because I hate, like, there's two things that I hate about training. Years ago when I was taking J-Box training, I would take it and we would spend like 2 hours on learning the J2534 legislation standards and language and stuff. I'm like, dude, I just need to know what I can do and what I can't do with a J-Box and how to do it. I don't need to know this much about the legislation. And now don't get me wrong, I know about a bunch of the legislation. I learned, I sought that out. I sought that information out heavily because I wanted to understand. But after doing that, I understood that there are certain parts of it that are important to know, and then other parts of it are not important to know as a technician. Especially when you're talking about introducing the standard to them. We're talking about just, let's talk about equipment and getting prepared to do this. And that's like my J-Box class, there's like 4 slides that talk about the standard. And I literally just bullet point and break down the important parts of it. Like, it starts in 2004 is when they were required to abide by it, and what things it allows us to do and doesn't allow us to do. And based on that, you can, that's where anything that deviates from that standard is where we talk about the exemptions and what things aren't required to be done and what can you do outside of that. And that gets into, from that point, we're getting into per manufacturer software stuff. So we're no longer worried about the legislation and all the requirements of it and the specifics. Leon, I don't even know how to spell legislation, Leon says. But yeah, so I'm not big on boring stuff. I want meat and potatoes. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm a millennial age individual. I have a short attention span. You have to keep my attention. It has to be like, I gotta be getting something out of it, unless I'm interested in it, and then I can totally nerd out on it. So that's just me. But yeah, I don't like spending a whole lot of time on stuff that doesn't work. I like to kind of, you can ask any of the guys that have taken my classes that are one of my patrons on my channel. I try to make sure that every 30 minutes of content, every 30 minutes to an hour of content is full of information for someone who has heard this for the first time, but it's digestible information, and then it's also got some kind of a golden nugget of information for the technician that uses this every single day. I try to make it that way. The advanced level guys, the guys that are better at me at this, are at least catching that little golden nugget of information of what I've got to say. So, but that's, you know, that's kind of, that's where it's going. And then the other half of the title for today, and a new website, is I am almost done with my website. And so far what has been completed is just the you know, the About Us page and the contact forms and the back end stuff, and it's still ever changing at this point. But I do have my waveform library up, and that was a big thank you to Justin Miller. He provided me with a lot of waveforms. So there's a lot of my waveforms that are properly labeled, and then a lot of Justin's waveforms, which all of his are labeled really, really well, and those are on the website. I'm not going to give out the web address yet. When I get done, when I get it to the point of that, to where it's ready to go, I'll launch it. And then it's got, let's see, there's a members section in there, and I'm building that library now, where it's going to have recordings of a lot of the videos I've done that are more easily findable than they are in like YouTube. Because I've done a walkthrough for almost every manufacturer on flashing. I've done a video on how to flash a General Motors, how to flash a Chrysler, how to do a Nissan blank TCM, how to do a Nissan reprogramming, how to do a Toyota programming, how to do a Honda programming. I've done videos on all that stuff that are complete walkthroughs, but they're so lost in the almost 200 videos I've done now that they're difficult to find. So this website will house all of those, but the members area, more importantly, that members area is not going to house that stuff that's on YouTube. The members area is going to house the videos of the classes that I've done, and it will come along with, in the members area, right now I'm building a forum. That way it's, those guys can interact and help each other out. So it'll be a platform for that, and, you know, just trying to organize everything I've got going on. But anyways, how to flash, Leon. Yeah, if you flash the wrong way, you got to use a J box. You can't use your box. If you flash with your box, you'll be in trouble. It's illegal in like 50 states. I've already checked, in most provinces in Canada. I'm sure in the UK and most places in Europe, it's illegal to flash with your box. Got to use a J box. I don't know anyone named Jay. I'm trying to think. Awesome. But anyways, thought I'd jump on here, hang out for a few, see what's going on. But don't forget, if you don't have plans for October the 12th on a Saturday and you can be somewhere close to Warminster, Pennsylvania, then calm down, Eric. Then head on out to the webpage that Eric mentioned earlier, paautotraining.com, and you can sign up for Super Saturday. John Thornton's going to be there. Let's see. Who else have they announced to be there? I think Eric Ziegler's going to be there. I don't remember who all is. Let's see. I'll pull it up real quick. I'll see if I can, because they made a flyer for the Super Saturday training event. And there's a Facebook page also. I believe, I'm just going to search for it real quick. It's just titled Super Saturday is the name of the Facebook group. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just called Super Saturday. It's a closed group. You've got to ask to join. Let's see. And I'm sure they put up a poster. I'm pretty sure they put up a digital format of the event coming up. Yep, it's the 6th annual Super Saturday event. It'll be at the Automotive Training Center in Warminster campus, 900 Johnson Boulevard in Warminster, Pennsylvania. It says top instructors, John Thornton, Eric Ziegler, Rick White. So they're doing some, there'll be management training too. Let's see, some of the vendors, Bolt-On Technologies, Worldpac, Advanced Auto Parts, WTI, CTI. Yeah, so CarQuest Technical Institute and Worldpac will be there. Let's see, sorry, the picture's small. I'm trying to look at it. There'll be special rates for lodging pretty soon on the website if it's not already up. So let me find out where we're at. Where are we at? Can't read all that. It's only illegal if you get caught. Eric says I'll be there. Drew's going to be there. Yep, it's on Train by Tech's website too. If they have an open bar, we won't learn anything. That's correct. That would not be a good thing. I'm going to be instructing there. I need to be sharp and keen. But, alright guys, I did not have much time because I have to head on over to Patreon and take. We're going to be doing the diagnostic process class. I'll keep you guys updated on the website. Maybe I'll make one of those premiere thingies to launch the site when it comes out. But we will see you guys next time. Have fun, be safe, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and what is it, stay dirty, what's the other stuff you guys say? I don't know.